I breathed a huge sigh of relief when I saw the tweets, because I wasn't watching it, but I saw the tweets and stuff like that. I breathed a huge sigh of relief when I found out about that, because it, on a personal level, it was affecting him in a very negative way.
I was there for moral support, man. Every day, like, we're doing this, man. It's happening. Like,
no, I'm so glad he's done with that. And on to Dark Souls, which is like home. You know, it's like walking on a long journey. It's like, dude, I just climbed Mount Everest, and now I'm home, and I feel good, you know?
I watched for maybe like 5 minutes before that. And like the run started off so casual. He was just like talking to chat, not really paying attention. It got to like half HP, and the chat was like, wait a minute, like this is kind of looking good right now. And then I think he started to realize that he was going to get it when I had like fourth of his HP left. And I'm pretty sure a lot of people thought that he was like faking the almost. I think they honestly were tears at the end. I'm pretty sure that was all real. No. I'm pretty sure man was like so fucking excited to the point of tears to be done with that game.
Yes. Dude, that entire episode with that final boss was a test. It was a display of dedication.
It was like 72 hours or something on the
final
boss,
It was
right?
amazing. Yeah, I mean, that's the kind of thing to stream one boss that long and just say, I'm not doing a single other thing on Twitch until this is beaten. Like, there's very little else I can think of on Twitch that even holds a candle to that kind of. I mean, I would stop in there every day, probably for 5 minutes or so. I'd talk every couple days, and I swear, like even you could tell he was so resigned about it. He was just like, "This is my show for like the last 2 weeks," and you know, like, he just adapted to it almost. Yeah. And it was still fun and entertaining, which was really surprising. But yeah, it was pretty impressive. Pretty impressive.
I think there was more than 5 or 10 streamers that I know are just like, thank God that he no longer has to play that game, because it was rough. Have any of you
the people walking like going into his chat, because obviously we talk and stuff, but like people would go into his chat and say shitty things like, oh, you're just drawing this out to get more subs, and
really, that was what
shit like that, like. It's like, do you really think, like, you obviously don't know him?
Yeah.
Well, because this will never be done. He wants this to be over. You guys have no idea how badly he wants this to be over.
Yep.
Well, going back to the dedication thing, I mean, again, when you're talking about a show, no one wants to see the exact same content over and over and over, and I'm sure man knew that, which was one of the I need to beat this boss factors. But for anyone to even consider that he would be doing that on purpose is just like, dude, there's nothing good, out of doing this over and over. Like, there's no benefits, and people are not going to watch. This like dedication. You're looking at somebody with a goal that's going to get it no matter what. Like, that's what you're. I don't know. The whole thing, that's ridiculous.
Yeah.
Well, I liken it to like going to watch like some sort of Zen master monk trying to use 10 decks of cards and build a house, not using any glue or anything like that, but building a giant replica of, like, I don't know, the Capitol building, and then like getting to the very last card and having to do it all over.
God. That's a good.
Didn't he get him to like 1% too? That's what you're referencing, right? Where he got him to 1% and then died. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, I'm just gonna leave this on in the background so you guys can see the win, because I can't fast forward in the playthrough. And it's on his.
Really happy when you finally get it done. I don't think you can. I think you're just like, ugh.
Yeah.
You're like just done. You plant your flag at the top of the mountain. You're just like, I did it. Okay, it's done.
Even his reaction right now is just like, did we just do that? He just like, oh my God.
I was so sad that I missed this. I was streaming when it happened, and I probably spent about 20, 30 hours watching him do this boss every night that I could when he was on, and I wanted to see it so bad live. I was like, I missed the Bashi and Solgren. I have to see this one, and motherfucker. Yeah. Did it when I was live, damn it. I mean, no, but it had to be done, so.
Yep.
Watching that highlight, I've never wanted to see chat on the screen more than I do right now.
Chat flipped out. He got, I think there was like at least 100 subs that came in like after he won, and it was pretty nuts. It was pretty nuts. He got a ton of donations too, and it was definitely an awesome moment on Twitch for sure. And I think man will probably never forget that because of how much fucking time he spent on that boss.
Mm-hmm.
So
I mean, look at him. There's no look of elation. There's no look of like there's barely like you can barely muster a smile. It's just like,
yeah,
I did it.
he was very emotional about that.
Yeah.
Have you guys heard or checked out Future Man Gaming? Have you heard of this stream?
Oh yeah.
I've heard that name.
Yeah, so this guy, I think he started out with like less than 500 followers last week, or maybe the week before that. He's at 12K now. He's just been blowing up on his channel. His thing is, it is a weird channel for sure. Like he does some crazy stuff. I'll show a little bit of his production here.
I sat there and watched him. Well, actually, I didn't. I watched the most was when he had a DJ on, and him and a DJ friend were just they were playing music, and the guy was doing like beats live and stuff like that. And it was like, it's like colorful background that he always has, and he had the quasi futuristic outfit on with the visor glasses and stuff like that.
Yeah.
He's a nut bar, and I can totally like relate to that. Like he's got his own thing. He'd be one of those cats that I'd be like, I wouldn't be surprised if I saw him at Burning Man or something like that, and he's just partying all night long.
Sure. He 100% has a gimmick, and I say that with the least amount of negative connotation to it, but it works for his cast, and so far he's doing pretty amazing. I think he's gotten on front page a lot recently. I think Twitch has been pushing him pretty strong, and you could see his numbers reflect that, but definitely check it out in the future because it is it's an interesting stream to say the least. And
so does he play games?
Yes, he does play games. Yeah. He does. There we go.
I love that jumpsuit thing he's wearing in that donation picture with the keyboard. I don't know if that's him, but
yeah, no, that's him.
His the backstory of him is like he's from the future, and he has to come back and play these video games and that kind of stuff. Like that's his ship that he's sitting in right now, and his ship talks to him and stuff like that. It's very like 80s awesome, like Flight of the Navigator kind of shit. It's really cool.
It's an interesting thing. He's got a lot of production in there, tons of different like voice effects, and probably a billion scenes and obs from what I can tell, or expo. I don't know what the hell he's using, but it's an interesting stream to watch for sure. Definitely check it out if you have a sec.
I got him followed. I'll check him out next time he's on. Looks fun.
There you go. Anything else you guys have been watching? I'm trying to think back to what all I've been watching. I was watching Summit last night. He didn't need viewers though, so we don't even need to talk about him. He's playing some Battle Royale.
I've been watching some Alaskan Savage. I don't know if you guys have heard of him.
No, tell me about him.
He's a very late night streamer, so very early mornings. He's from Alaska, and that's kind of one of his like shticks. He plays just whatever he wants. Very, very chat interactive. Super, super nice guy, and definitely brings like tons of energy to his cast. Very entertaining. Definitely worth checking out if you're up late at night.
Ooh, I like the mustache. He's got a strong mustache.
Oh gosh, got a Bill the Butcher mustache going on there.
Strong mustache on Alaskan Savage.
He's in the channel actually too right now, I believe.
Well, there you go.
He's hanging out.
There you go. Click his name, give him a follow, guys. Check him out.
Do you ever feel bad for not already have been following somebody?
Yes.
All the time.
I feel bad for not having been subbed to someone came into my channel today and was like 6-month anniversary sub, and I'm like, fuck. I have to like sub in the middle of the night when no one's watching, and then like wait a couple months and be like, yeah, man, I've been subbed for a long time.
It's kind of funny you say that. I actually have on a few of my favorite streams that, for some reason or another I didn't sub to for a month. I've got that little like, show your 2-month dedication message at the top. And I'm like, so how do I just clear this message and not display it? Like, I don't... I just want to get that off my chat, but I don't really want to. Yay, you know. So.
Yeah, I'm in the same.
I had a credit card expire, or not expire, get stolen.
And
of course, it was like 2 days before all of my Twitch stuff went through because I line up a lot of dates. So like all of my subs broke, and I just didn't go back and do a lot of them. So it messed everything up.
That's usually my excuse too.
It's a good excuse, isn't it?
It works pretty much most of the time. Zeke, you've been.
It works every time.
Exactly. Zeke, you've been watching anyone in particular? Just the norms?
Yeah, you guys are, already said the Sarkoolite show. Checked out Future Man Gaming. Maybe this is a topic for after we come back, but I was checking out the Kyle Landry piano, right?
Yeah.
Checking him out. It's still up there, but it's not as hype as it was. Do you think there's and that's why I brought it up with Future Man Gaming too. Do you think there's a limit for like hype as far as that goes?
I mean, I think that again, to use the word gimmick in the least negative way possible, I think that gimmicks have a place on Twitch. I think that people will just inherently lose interest over time with them, and that's just kind of how it's going to always be. Okay. But I don't think there's anything wrong with that. Like, I'm glad that we have a stream like Kyle Landry, and I'm glad that we have a stream like Future Man Gaming. I think they do things that no one else is doing right now on Twitch, and if they can keep the viewership up with how much, or with what it's been as of late, then more power to them. And if not, hey, it's a huge bump, and they're going to continue probably doing what they're going to be doing and grow more in the future. Like, I think that gimmicks have a place on Twitch, but it's not necessarily the best way to have sustainability.
See, and that's what I'm scared of on my own channel.
I think it's a little bit different, though, when you're talking about somebody like Future Man Gaming and Kyle, because his kind of hype comes from a viewer base that he already has in existence, almost, because
YouTube.
He's coming. If you go and look at his YouTube, he's got 350,000 subscribers.
Yeah, he's been. Yeah.
Okay.
He's seen success. Is maybe the best way to say
exactly.
it. Yeah.
So when he's coming over to a new platform, everybody on the Twitch platform is going to go check him out initially. The hype's going to be there. It's going to be like Twitch Plays Pokemon, or another good example, Tay Zonde, when he came on over. He's going to bring that huge interest. People are going to go check him out. He's going to taper off. They're going to taper off, and it's going to go down to a point to where they have a community, and what's left is going to be their community. Whereas Future Man Gaming, the hype that he has, it's more of like a rising hype to where he's building his community up from that hype, not
that's
down
true.
from it.
That's a good point. That's actually a great point, yeah. Where I think that Future Man's gaming gimmick is he still plays games, so it's a little bit different than Kyle, yeah. I 100% agree with that. But yeah, definitely check out all those streams. Anyone else? I didn't ask you, but anyone else you've been watching outside the norm?
It's been a lot of time in my team, watching a lot of Daisy from Clam Taco. Poultrygeist has been doing some fun stuff. Recently, he's doing some playthroughs that I've been actually finding myself idling on while doing messages and stuff. It's really about it. Chris, been hanging out a lot at Chris's stream, and Fuzzy Freaks. Yep, all great streamers, and having a really good time with that. But not too much outside that.
Those are all
been watching a lot
members?
of Game with Dark Souls too.
yeah, that's true.
It's about.
Cool. All right. Well, let's take Wheat. Future Man Gaming isn't a gimmick. He's actually from the future. I'm sorry, Wheat. You're right. He's trying to save us all with his nice moves.
Wheat's coming to the Drop Frames in PAX East.
Yes, Wheat will be on the panel. He's going to be our first Twitch person on the show. I don't know why that's a thing, but we're gonna make that a thing, I guess. But yeah, he'll be on the panel on Sunday next week. So, all right, why don't we take a break? We'll come back and we'll talk about the news. We've got some updates on the G2A stuff that we were talking about with Sacriel when he was on the show 2 episodes ago. We'll talk about some of the other stuff that's going on with that, and then we'll jump into our topic of the week, which is going to be TwitchCon. So, we'll take a quick break. We'll be right back, guys. More Drop Frames coming up right after this. We'll see you guys in a sec. Thank you, everyone, once again for watching Dropped Frames. If you're watching from Co-Stream, make sure to click that follow button. Also, head over to Ezekiel _III. Click that follow button. Cobalt, make sure to go over to his stream. Get him up in the chat. Mods, you guys have all of the Cobalt Streak, sorry. And then, of course, you can find me over at /InMeJP. We're going to run 3 minutes of ads here. We'll be right back, guys. I'm going to start uploading the first hour over to youtube.com/InMeJP, and I would love it if you guys subscribe to that YouTube channel. We'll be right back, guys, in just a sec.
The sunlight begins to fade now, and I feel like I'm losing time, but I don't know how I'm here. The sunlight has turned to gray, and I feel like I'm losing love again. I don't know how I'm here. Feel your heartbeat. I could feel somewhere you're looking down. I could feel your heartbeat. I could feel somewhere you're looking down. 'Cause it's you I'm loving, and it's you that I wanna breathe. And it's you I'm loving, and it's you that I wanna need. And I know now we're getting older. The world we built is slipping through our fingers. We're running out of time. But you are the one I've chosen, and I won't lay still, living left behind, imprisoned by this love. I could feel your heartbeat. I could feel somewhere you're looking down. I could feel your heartbeat. I could feel somewhere you're looking down. 'Cause it's you I'm loving, and it's you that I wanna breathe. And it's you I'm loving, and it's you that I wanna need. And it's you that I wanna need.
All right, guys, welcome back to Drop Frames. We're going to be talking about the news of the week, a little bit of G2A stuff that we talked about a couple episodes ago, and then we'll jump into the topic, which is, of course, TwitchCon. Ko, where do you want to start with the news? I usually run... For some reason, we've become the news duo here. So where would you like to start?
So next time, JP, I'd like to have a news desk overlay with each of us on one side with small labels under, please. Just for the next time.
All right.
So where to start? Crowfall!
I brought papers just in case, so if you want to like shuffle them.
That'd be great.
All right. Next up in the news.
Perfect. That's perfect. No, but I'd say a good place to start is Crowfall and the huge splash that we've seen on Kickstarter in the last 2 days.
Yeah. What do you think about that? Because I have some, I guess, strong opinions about it.
What do I think? Let me say what I think. They have a lot of promises on that Kickstarter page. I have watched the videos. I've looked over the classes. I've seen most of the names of the people working on the project. And I am extremely hoping that they meet most of those expectations on Kickstarter. And if they do, then I think it'll be a phenomenal new MMO.
So, you know what this is? And we've all seen this. We've all played MMOs. This is what happens when you get the people that played Star Wars, when you get the people that played Shadowbane, when the people that get played Ultima, the people that played Dark Age of Camelot, people that played the good PvP MMOs. And you get them excited about something and you get them to buy in, and then everyone just hopes. You just hope that it's good.
Don't mess it up, man.
That's
Don't mess
all
this
this
up
is.
for me.
And I worry so bad that it's going to be so much of a failure, because they all have been. And so I hope they get it right here. And I hope they get a better looking game, because this looks like it came out in like 2004. Like, it does not look graphically that impressive. Granted, it's probably super early alpha, but yeah, you can't judge that.
That's the first thing I was going to say. It's very important to mention this game is really early alpha. They even say at one point they haven't even put in effects yet. Like, it's really pre-alpha. Second, you're absolutely right. And to be blunt, that's all we can do right now. You know, I mean, as people who are passionate about gaming, when we hear about these projects that really, embody everything that we want them to, all we can do is throw as much money as is comfortable at them and sit back and hope. And, there's 2 MMOs on deck right now. There's now Crowfall and there's Camelot Unchained. And these
That's
are
still
some
on deck,
first,
really?
Oh, absolutely. In fact, Camelot Unchained Alpha is supposed to open up this month. In fact, I may be getting access to it pretty soon. So here's the thing, though. Both of these projects have a parallel, and that is that this is one of the first times that we've seen MMO developers from the kind of, I'm going to call it the golden age of MMOs.
Sure.
We've had developers from that time saying, we want to do a project that embodies what we had, and we don't want to have any investors from people that are going to tell us how to make our product. So believe us when we say that this will be our true vision. We've got Camelot Unchained doing the DAOC thing. Now we have Crowfall doing the Shadowbane thing.
Yep.
So like I said, when I read over all the features of this game, I get extremely excited. Like the destructible environments.
They hit everything right.
The catapult stuff. The city building. If the city building is anything like I saw in there, where you can use tools to shape like the tiny little voxels to make these giant castles, this is going to open up doors again that we haven't seen in MMOs for so long. The best, most advanced city building was, put these pre-constructed pieces that have this much hit point and these, but and it was all like the Arcade city building was a joke. I mean, it literally felt like a Lego set with 3 pieces. It was horrible. So, and that's like the best we've had for years. So, I'm really hoping that after seeing a lot, and here's the thing, I'm really hoping after seeing all this stuff that they can deliver. That's going to be the most important part. And I'm trying hard, like I'll talk about Crowfall right now, but I'm not going out and recommend, no one's heard me recently saying, yeah, everyone go throw your money at Crowfall. This is going to be the next big thing. This is awesome. Because just like JP said, very reserved, very, let's see the product. I've already emailed the Crowfall developers. I've said, hey, let's. Do you want to get involved with Twitch? Here's what me and my streaming team can do for you. I'd love to hear back from you. Let's work together to really show everyone why they should play this game, if that's something you can deliver on. And I'm very optimistic. I'm optimistic, but again, careful. So
is in regards to the graphics? I know that we've heard this word voxels a lot.
Yeah.
And destructive.
That's the new buzzword.
Right? I think we first kind of heard it maybe with EQ, correct me if I'm wrong.
Yeah, I think that's correct. With
that's where it kind of started picking up a little bit of retention and whatnot. But do you think maybe that as far as the graphics looking a little bit backwards or not as developed as some of these other MMOs, do you think that has something to do with that, the voxels, and how maybe it needs to kind of take that back step to make the world interactive like that, and it would just be too hard to kind of like make an updated, super graphically intense game involving those? Or
I think it might just be too early to tell is my answer to that. Like,
I'd say that's absolutely right. It's a little too early to tell, but you bring up a great point. Now, the voxels are a double-edged sword. What voxels allow you to do is have much more fundamental control over your engine and environment. Voxels are the reason that if you look in that video, you see a ball from a catapult hit a wall, and it actually blows a hole in the wall. Right. Without voxels, that kind of stuff would be so resource intensive, like without having the pre-built fabrications of what that wall would look like, with that hole in that, it just doesn't work out. Now, at the same time, most of the time voxels are engine based. So by making that choice, you're limiting everything in your game to having to be made of those. Now, of course, there's all sorts of I'm not a professional coder or engine master, so there's all sorts of ways you can get around that. But what I'm saying is that's one of the reasons you tend to see that look, and one of the reasons that a lot of times they're kind of locked to it. Now, how you deal with the effects, how you deal with the environment, what you do to the art style, all this is stuff that they can do to make it better, more pleasing to the eye kind of thing. But a good example of voxel to the extreme is Minecraft. That's one of the things that really started the big voxel push. That is huge voxels.